Hello everyone, it's Eric Haugen with Olive Hill Studios with another Drax After Dusk update. So this was our submission to Game Dev DV Game Jam 2024, but due to some family commitments, unfortunately out of the three of us, Andrew, Brian, and myself, I was definitely contributing the least amount of work to the project. So on the second to last day, as Andrew was furiously programming the blackjack mini game for the casino, he reached out and said, "Hey Eric, if you could please just take care of the UI, that would really go a long way." So I said, "No problem, I got it." So I followed a main menu UI setup video by 16-bit dev. And I just added the basic features, and the only change I made aesthetically was the font. Just shipped that and hoped that no one would notice that I had just essentially done hardly anything beyond the default main theme. So after reading most of the needs improvement feedback was directed at the UI, I felt crushed. All the music and sound effects handcrafted by Brian, the pixel art and programming by Andrew. Due to my shoddy UI, our Game Jam submission ranking was plummeting down the leaderboards. But like Rocky stepping up off the mat, I vowed to redeem myself as we continued to update the game after the Game Jam. So I signed up for an Inkscape course on Udemy, which is a free and open source tool for vector graphics editing. And I learned the basics of the tool, how to create basic shapes, rotate, move them around, resize them, basic coloring. And I made some button sprites and a nice big readable toggle checkbox. That's for you guys out there that couldn't find the checkbox on the full screen. But you were right, it was very hard to find. And I added these into the game. So after creating some sprites for the buttons in Inkscape, I loaded them into Godot and used the theme editor, which is a really useful tool inside the Godot game engine you can use to design your UI themes and make changes all at once. So I went to the button node, and this was what the old UI looked like. Everything is the default except for the font. So then I went in, and there's something called the style box resource that you can use, and you can use this to essentially propagate your visual updates that you make for your UI nodes, and it can go across all different types. So once I added in the new button sprite to the button, you can see that it updates all the buttons at once with this new sprite. This is the one that I ended up with, at least for now, using the Inkscape. The border is kind of inspired by like a Magic the Gathering card. And then I added the orange highlight on the hover to give some more readability to the player as they're moving their mouse around the buttons. So I was happy with that. A couple of basic visual updates and some readability with the highlighting, and all of a sudden I felt a lot better about the UI, and Brian and Andrew, the rest of our team, felt good about that as well. The full screen, which was previously impossible to find for players, had a nice custom big checkbox that I made in the Inkscape that was easy for players to find. So there's still a long way to go with the UI. I still have a bunch of other things that I want to add to it. But again, the readability, I think, is a big improvement from where I had it in the Game Jam. So I guess in conclusion, even if you're not good at art, guys, and if you're either solo dev or part of your team, just learning some basic tools with Inkscape and other vector graphics can go a long ways towards helping UI. All right. And everyone, see you guys in the next video. Look for more updates on Drax After Dusk, and happy gaming. Bye.